Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry if this is a little bit unannounced. I typically will do a community post letting you guys know when I'm going to be live streaming. That way you guys can kind of hop in and know what's going on. But this was a little bit last minute. I just thought it'd be kind of fun just to come and do a quick live stream. I've been really busy lately. I haven't had time to do one. Pumping out videos and stuff has been pretty intense. But I was glad to have a little bit of time maybe to try to reconnect with you all and also let you guys know about some really awesome updates for the channel. And also just talk about some FNAF stuff. I found a little interesting clue from FNAF Security Breach that's a little bit strange to me. And I wanted to just hint it to you guys because I do refer to it a little bit in my upcoming video for this week. But I'm thinking about possibly doing a full video on it. But anyway, updates. First update. You obviously noticed on my channel for this week, there was a bit of a newer type of video. It was on a FNAF fan ARG. A little bit of a different type of a topic of a video for my channel. The reason why I did that is because currently right now, and we'll get into it in a minute, currently right now, FNAF for 2026 has been pretty rough. We haven't had a lot of new content. We are still waiting for stuff, and there's going to be some stuff later this year that's going to come out that's going to be pretty cool. But Steelwool hasn't announced a game. We'll get into that. We don't have a lot of updates on the movie. We'll also get into that. So in this time frame, I kind of wanted to branch out a little bit and make videos on some other things that I'm interested in and that I enjoy myself. Just because making FNAF theories every single week can get hard when there's not as much stuff to talk about. And I don't want to be rehashing the same thing. So I wanted to give myself more time to come up with better FNAF theories for you guys that are actually fun and enjoyable to watch. So like, for instance, this week, my next FNAF theory is going to be on the complete history of Golden Freddy in the FNAF timeline. Currently, I haven't seen a lot of people do this. It's typically just kind of talked in passing as people are giving like a FNAF timeline video. It's like, oh, Golden Freddy was here and then he did this and blah, blah, blah. So-and-so spirit haunts Golden Freddy. It's the Crying Child. It's Cassidy. What have you. Or at this point, some people think Crying Child is Cassidy and all that stuff. So with that being said, this video is going to be directly just talking about Golden Freddy as the animatronic and who created him, where he first appeared, and all of that. So that's going to be really fun. But just want to let you guys know that every other week now I'm going to be alternating between a FNAF theory and then a theory on something a little bit broader. It's always going to be related to indie horror, just so that while we're in this giant canyon of time, like I said in one of my previous videos, before Steelwool releases the next game, we have other things we can talk about. That's the first update I want to let you guys know about. Second update. So I like to be completely honest with everyone. I think it's best to have transparency when you have a YouTube channel. Recently, there was something that I had to get involved with on my YouTube channel. I just wanted to let you guys all know. There was a community post that I'd made couple weeks ago, and there were two individuals who were having a conversation. Conversation started out fine. Obviously, we all know in the FNAF community things can get heated with passions and certain people not agreeing with certain theories, but by all means, guys, there's no reason why that needs to resort to slandering people, name calling, racial comments, all that kind of stuff. Just want to let you guys know that. But that's eventually what happened between one individual and another individual. The person who instigated it was telling the other person, calling them a lot of inappropriate type of things and racial type stuff. So all of that has been removed from the channel. And I just want to be honest with you guys. I do not tolerate any of that. I live by the standard of we should treat everyone as we want to be treated. I think everyone should be treated equally. I love everyone. I don't care who you are or what you believe about FNAF or what you believe in your personal life. I love everyone. So I just want to put that out there and being like that type of stuff going on in the comments and stuff. I do not tolerate that. So that's why I removed it and reported some stuff, because what the person was saying to the other individual was like pretty racist and stuff. I'm not for any of that. So just want to give you guys an update on that, just to Make sure you guys know I don't tolerate any of that type of stuff. But anyway, let's talk about FNAF. So recently, I, on preparation for the Golden Freddy video, came across something interesting. And it's something that, for whatever reason, I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I never realized this. But if we look right here, let's read this. Enjoy perfect entertainment for the family with fresh, unalterated food and beverage while being serenaded by our local singing bear, Freddy. Wait. What? This is for Fredbear's singing show. But it's telling us that the bear who was singing's name is Freddy. Please tell me, like, there's an explanation for this, because I don't understand what I'm looking at here. Like, it's been like such a big deal where, like, it's been so clear throughout FNAF that Freddy and Fredbear are two separate characters, but yet on this poster we are seeing Fredbear's singing show, but our local singing bear, Freddy. What the heck is this talking about? I saw this week in my preparation for my Golden Freddy like timeline video that's coming out this week. And obviously I believe the theory that Golden Freddy and Fredbear are the same character. And so the story of Golden Freddy would start with Fredbear, obviously. So we go all the way back to Fredbear's, singing show and this poster that we got from Security Breach, which is one of the collectibles that we can get. Cool, awesome. But then you look at it and it says Freddy. And you're like, why? So I'm not quite sure what I make of this. I think it's interesting to note, too, that this character, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what to make of it. And if we look at this image, which we all know we also got from Security Breach, we also saw this in Secret of the Mimic from 1979, Fredbear's Family Diner, why isn't this Fredbear? I've actually seen a fan art from someone who made this poster look like Fredbear, like golden, purple hat, purple bow tie, the way you would think it would look. So a part of me is starting to wonder if we've been wrong about Freddy himself in that whole aspect. Like, yeah, it's crazy. My mind has been kind of going in a lot of different directions, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct, which is fine because we are FNAF theorists. That's what FNAF theorists we like to do. We like to overcomplicate things. But my question is why is it this character looks like Freddy, and on the Fredbear Singing Show poster, it literally says our local singing bear Freddy? That can only mean a couple things. That could mean that from the start, Fredbear and Freddy were two different characters that they had for Fredbear's Singing Show. And is it possible that Freddy was actually at Fredbear's Family Diner? A version of him was. Maybe. I think that this also could be partially backed up with the whole Fredbear and Friends TV show that we see in 1983, which I've always thought is interesting. Like, why is Fredbear being associated with the classics from FNAF? I've always found that to be a bit interesting. But I don't know. I think this is something that I've stumbled across this week that has me asking questions and not getting any answers. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit and just kind of think about it, because it's like, how do we deal with this? I mean, if you looked at this character and I was told, oh, this is Freddy, I would totally believe you because it looks just like him. Also, this character looks extremely similar to what Steel uploaded for like the upcoming like release of Security Breach on their YouTube channel, which was the, Freddy and Friends on Tour series. Like, it literally looks just like it. Here, I will pull it up. I think, yeah, this has me very confused. Very, very confused. Let me see here. Okay, here it is. So, let me find a good still image here. And then I'll share the screen. Okay. Right here. Look at this. That right there, that looks very much like that character. Like that is that character. And I don't know, man. It's just, it is strange. It's very interesting. So I've been thinking a lot about that. I do mention it in my upcoming video on Golden Freddy, but I don't go in detail about it, mainly because the video is about Golden Freddy and just his story, starting with Fredbear. So I don't really go in detail about it, but I am thinking about doing a video on it just because I think there's something we're missing with Fredbear's Family Diner, Fredbear's Singing Show, Freddy and Fredbear. I think there's something we're missing here. It's very interesting. So just wanted to throw that out there. And sorry if I'm rambling a little bit because this was not a prepared live stream. I just randomly went live. So anyway. All right. What's up next for FNAF? I have absolutely no freaking clue. Let's ask Scott if we can just call him, for goodness sakes. Yeah, I would say I was a bit more disappointed after this recent state of play on June 2nd. Because, like, the first one, a couple days before, Steelwool on Twitter had posted the stuff about Secret of the Mimic VR coming out. And so a lot of people were already saying, oh, well, they said that because they're not going to release anything at the first state of play of this year. And so I was hoping, hey, we haven't heard anything from Steelwool on Twitter saying anything yet. So is it possible that this is going to be their big reveal for the, the next game is going to be released on the state of play, or talked about on the state of play? Sorry, not released. But it obviously didn't. And we haven't had any update whatsoever. The only update we've gotten about a new FNAF game really is just Scott talking about it on Daco's live stream at that one point, saying it's a sequel to something, not a 3, but a 2. Really vague. It could be anything as Security Breach 2, Ruin 2, Sister Location 2, FNAF World 2. So it's all over the place. Freaking all over the place. And it just has me wondering, like, I feel like this year, 2026, has been extremely rough on us FNAF fans. We haven't had a new game announced. The FNAF VR for Secret of the Mimic was a total mess when it first released. I'm just going to be completely honest. I loved Secret of the Mimic VR, but I had a PC, so I had to wait. And I literally took work off the day that Secret of the Mimic VR was supposed to come out, but it was on PlayStation. So I was like, oh, joy. I took off work for no reason. But, obviously, Steelwool has said that they're sorry about that, and I totally respect them for that, too. It takes a lot of guts to be able to admit to, a community, hey, we were wrong. So big, W's to them for doing that. And lately, they've been really, really responsive and talking about updates and stuff, which I really like that. I think that's really cool, and they should continue to do that. But it has been a rough year for FNAF fans in general. No new game, the VR stuff, the whole thing with Leon Riskin and thinking that his videos were like teasers for the next FNAF game, and then just to find out that they weren't. Everything at Comic-Con with us thinking that something was going to be released for the FNAF 3 movie, just a poster, just anything, because we know the FNAF 3 movie's being made. We know it's in the works right now. We've gotten multiple confirmations from that, from like Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, all those guys. It's very clear we're going to get a FNAF 3 movie. And then to have, my goodness. Yeah, it's just, it's crazy. Then to have Jason, it was Jason, Jason with Blumhouse. He posted on Twitter right after the Comic-Con how are my FNAF, how's the FNAF community holding up? And I was watching Johnny Block's live stream at that point. And he was like, I can't keep waiting, man. And it would have been like 30, 40 minutes and nothing new had been posted. And I just felt so bad. It was like, Jason, what are you doing, man? And we haven't gotten anything since then. He said that, and that was it. We haven't gotten nothing. So it's just been a rough year. 2026 for us FNAF fans. And yeah, I don't really know what's next. I kind of feel like we're just in this canyon of time before the next FNAF game. But I do think that if we just stick it out a little longer, something will get revealed, and I think it has to be soon, because if nothing was released at State of Play, like, is nothing going to be released this year? I would highly doubt a FNAF game will be released this year. It'll probably be next year, but can we at least just get some sort of confirmation? Something would be nice. But what can you do? Also, note on the FNAF 3 movie. Guys, can we make this thing rated R, please? Please. Like, I have absolutely loved the FNAF movies. I liked the first one better than the second one. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people liked the second one and thought it improved a lot more, but my personal opinion was the first one was my favorite so far. I think out of the three, if they end up making a three, which I think they are, the third one will probably be my favorite just because it has obviously Springtrap and obviously more William Afton from the sounds of it, which I think we need more Matthew Lillard in the FNAF movies for sure. That was my biggest critique about the second one, was we just didn't get a lot of Matthew Lillard, man. That guy's the GOAT. So that I'm hoping will change in the FNAF 3 movie, but I also really hope that they just try making it like, I don't know, scarier, just a lot more scarier, like have some more violent type scenes. Like, it's okay, this is FNAF. And I think a part of it is they're a little bit confused on who their audience is. Is it kids, like younger teenagers, or is it more young adults? I am currently about to turn 20 years old. I'm getting so old, by the way. I'm just kidding. But I'm currently 20 years old. I got into FNAF when I was like, 11, 12. And at that point, the stuff that was in FNAF was scary. At this point, it's not. And I'm ready for FNAF to be something more. Now, obviously, we know Scott has talked about the fact that, he doesn't want to make things extremely gory and everything like that. And that's totally fine. But you can have a rated R film that is fine. I think a new movie that came out recently is The Backrooms. The Backrooms is rated R. There are some more like scarier, violent scenes in the film, but overall, it was a great, scary movie. And definitely was a level up from scary from FNAF. And so I feel like if they took kind of inspiration from The Backrooms and was like, okay, we can get a rated R movie. Colin, hi, how's it going? King Callus, how's it going? Yeah, man. It probably won't be rated R, but I gotta rant about something. But yeah, the movies do need to be scarier for sure. But I think if they almost took some inspiration from like movies like The Backrooms, which is a rated R film, but to be honest, it was the lesser end of being rated R, to be completely honest. It was more just, some of the language that they used was more what made it rated R, which I think you could have a PG-13 rated movie and it be scarier, like, even though the FNAF movies are rated PG-13, they're like on the lowest side of PG-13. Like, bro, have you seen Jurassic Park? Like, do we have to talk about old movies that are rated PG-13 and the amount of the level of gore that they show in those films? Like, bro, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going on here. But anyway, FNAF 3 movie needs to be rated R. I really hope it is, but we'll see. He's got coughing. No. But I do think we have some cool stuff coming out this year. We do have the next comic book, Volume 4, for Tales from the Pizzaplex, which obviously has Didophobia. The cover art is absolutely insane, and I'm so freaking excited for that book. It'll be very, very interesting to see where that goes. So we have some fun stuff coming up. I just think for the FNAF community, it's just been hard, and I know for people who are YouTubers, coming up with new FNAF content has been hard. Rye Toast, I mean, he uploads FNAF videos every single week. And to find new topics, I'm sure is hard because there's not a lot of new stuff going on. I What do I think the next FNAF game is going to be? Yeah, I know, Colin. Please keep your thoughts with me, bro. I'm trying to hold on, because I'm also a weekly uploader content creator, so I upload weekly. And like, I'm gonna be honest. Some of you guys probably weren't here when I first started streaming, but I've been starting to have to do different topic type videos because of the lack of FNAF content, which gives me more time to come up with a better FNAF theory. So expect that. I'm planning on doing a theory video on the back rooms, or other types of indie horror genres that are similar to FNAF but not FNAF. So expect that out on the channel. It'll help me get more time to make better FNAF theories, which FNAF is the GOAT. FNAF's still my favorite thing. You can obviously tell I'm an utter FNAF fan. But anyway, with that being said, what do I think the next FNAF game is going to be? That's a really good question. I honestly, I really don't know. Like, I really do not know. Let me think. I think Sister Location 2 would be goated. But my heart wants Ruin 2. Cause dang, bro, I want to know what happens to Cassie, man. I really want to know what happens to Cassie. I think it's either going to be SL2 or Security Breach 2. Fair. Yeah. Yeah, for real. I really hope it is not FNAF World 2. I've heard that going around. I hope it's not that. Personally, I don't think it is. I think that'd be a long shot. I would be absolutely flabbergasted if it was FNAF World 2. But we'll see. Personally, I really hope it's Ruin 2, because I want to continue that story of FNAF. Obviously, we had Security Breach, Ruin, and then we jumped back to 1979 with Secret of the Mimic, which I love. Secret of the Mimic, great game. But moving forward, I think it would be awesome to continue the story arc of the Mimic and get that type of story. I don't even know what they would do if it was FNAF World 2. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. Like, I don't even know where that would go. I couldn't even see where that would even be going. So, hey, it would be very interesting. Since I got some of you guys in the chat and some viewers now, earlier I was talking about something that I don't think some of you saw, so I'm going to talk about it again. Recently, for research for my next videos coming out on the channel, I'm doing a complete timeline video on Golden Freddy. And I've seen so many people do videos on, oh, what spirit haunts Golden Freddy? Is it the Crying Child? Is it Cassidy? Is the Crying Child actually Cassidy, the 5th victim of the MCI? All that crazy stuff. Okay? I'm not going to be talking about any of that. Let's talk about just Golden Freddy as an animatronic, who created him, where he started, throughout the FNAF timeline. Boom. There you go. That's the video. But I'm of the belief, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well, that Fredbear and Golden Freddy are the same animatronic. If you don't believe me, you can go play, FNAF UCN. There's an Easter egg that shows you pretty clearly that they are the same animatronic. Fredbear is simply the version before the Bite of 83, in my opinion. After the Bite of 83, that's when we get into the Golden Freddy stage and him being haunted and all that crazy stuff. But I had to ask myself, obviously, for the video, where did Fredbear begin? And Fredbear began at Fredbear's Singing Show. At least that's the earliest account that we have of Fredbear, which we obviously got from Security Breach. One of the collectibles was the Fredbear Singing Show poster. I actually still have it pulled up so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's this poster right here. The wonderful Fredbear Singing Show. And I'm like, this is obviously where it all started, right here. This is where it started. But I read something, and I don't know if I was just dumb or whatever, but I did not notice this for the longest time. Look down here at the bottom. Enjoy perfect entertainment for the family with fresh, unalterated food and beverage while being serenaded by our local singing bear, Freddy. Not Fredbear. It says Freddy. What? This has me confused. This genuinely has me confused because all throughout the FNAF lore, we have it's been abundantly clear that Fredbear and Freddy are two separate characters. This is the first discrepancy I've seen of this before. So it's very interesting. Then this caught my eye. The classic Fredbear's Family Diner poster. Why doesn't this actually look like Fredbear? We obviously know what Fredbear looks like from FNAF UCN. You know, he's obviously, you know, yellow in color, purple hat, purple bow tie, just like the FNAF 4 minigames. Why doesn't this look like Fredbear? This looks like classic, like costume version of Freddy. And it even looks very similar to the Freddy and Friends on Tour. That was released on like a follow-up, like released during like the announcements for Security Breach. So I don't know what to make of this. It could mean possibly that Freddy as like a character, we're not talking about the animatronic here, but just as a character, has existed a lot longer than what we've thought. But that just starts to get messy. It really does. And the fact that it's possible that he existed at Fredbear's singing show, I don't know. I really don't know what to make of that. And to me, it's a bit of a mystery. So wanted to talk about that a little bit. I don't go deep into it on my Golden Freddy video just because I kind of stumbled onto it. And obviously, this would talk more about Freddy, not like Golden Freddy. The video is about Golden Freddy, not Freddy. So I don't really talk about it a whole lot. But I would like to possibly explore this a bit more and then do a complete timeline for Freddy Fazbear, and include some of this information here. So definitely interesting. Something that I noticed that I had never noticed before about this poster, and Fredbear's Singing Show in general. So hopefully that will be a theory at some point. The Fredbear cutout in Ruin is called 70s Freddy, by the way. Really? I actually didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, because then like a part of you could just like I feel like some people could rationalize this as just like, oh, people were calling him Freddy. But like the long version of his name was Fredbear, and they were just kind of calling him Freddy. But I kind of feel like that's a little unsatisfying, but that's just me. So I think there is an answer for what that is, and I think we can figure it out. I think it just needs to take a little bit of investigating. But with that being said, so yeah, pretty cool. Let's talk about some FNAF merch. Jazzwares has absolutely been cooking with some of their stuff that they've been coming out with, man. I recently got the Jumbo Golden Freddy. He's absolutely gorgeous. And a fun fact, this is a real, I'm not lying, guys. This is legit, okay? I pre-ordered him from GameStop, okay? And a bunch of people had their orders canceled after they had ordered them, and they were refunded. That happened to me. I ordered Golden Freddy, and I ordered something else. I don't even remember what it was at this point, but my order got canceled, and I was upset. I was like, dang it, like, scalpers, you know, they're going to take them, and I'm going to have to pay $200 for a $40 plushie, you know? So I was upset. I went back maybe like 4 weeks later and reordered the Jumbo Golden Freddy on GameStop's website, and it never got canceled. So I was like, oh, hey, great. And it said, your order has been shipped. And I was super excited. I was like, hey, I actually got one. I get a notification on my phone while I'm at work. Hey, your Golden Freddy's been delivered. And I was like, yes. So get off work, I go home. There are 2 massive boxes on my front porch. Not one, there's 2 massive boxes. And I'm like, what? I take these boxes in my house. They sit me. Here, look. They sent me 2 of these. They did not send me 1. They sent me 2 after refunding me for 1. So I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. So I literally have one up here that's sitting next to like the jumbo like classic Freddy, which is this guy, which I got a shirt on him right now. But I have another one downstairs that's sitting there. So I don't know. I might do a giveaway on the channel for that one because I don't need 2 jumbo golden Freddys. I'm gonna be honest, like they take up so much space. But that's the story behind this guy. Super awesome. Colin says, but Fredbear's hat and bow tie are black, but since that Freddy's bow tie is black, Scott changed Fredbear's bow tie to purple, or it's because the dark. Okay, so you're talking about the stuff I was talking about earlier. That's interesting. Yeah, and that is true. But anyway, one thing that I think is hilarious. Look at this guy. Tiny little golden Freddy compared to the jumbo. Probably the coolest thing ever, man. So I might be doing a giveaway, just so you guys know, on this dude. So make sure to, keep tabs on my videos and stuff, because I typically do giveaways at the end of my video, or I might do a community post. Heck, I could do it on a live stream at some point. So just so you guys know. But anyway, that was a fun little story. I haven't been able to get my hands yet on like the FNAF 2 office that Jazzware's done. I was finally able to get like the FNAF 1 office, but scalpers are absolutely disgusting when it comes to this Jazzware stuff, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So, very interesting. Glitch says, leads me to believe that MCM had a hand in the redesign from the brown flirt. Yeah. No, that actually makes sense. Because if you think about it, if technically the first version of Fredbear looked more like Freddy, and there was some type of redesign, possibly when they created the first V1 Springlock suits that Henry Emily created, it's possible that's where the redesign took place. And then we had like the golden version of Fredbear with the purple hat, purple bow tie that we see in FNAF 4's mini games. So if that's just an interesting story to me of like I think that could be unpacked a bit and be like, okay, actually the first version of Fredbear looked like Freddy. And then when Henry Emily invented the Springlock suits, the V1s, and created those, that's when we got like the classic golden Freddy look. I think that's a pretty cool idea. So, and I think it makes sense because I think what we're seeing from those posters kind of explains that. And again, there are no coincidences with FNAF. I think there is a reason why that looks that way. I really do. So, but anyway, back to talking about scalpers. I was recently able to get a couple of the new Indo series of like the toy animatronics with like their other counterpart skins from like AR Special Delivery, which is pretty cool. So those are really cool. I really like those. But it's been hard. The new FNAF 4 like Nightmare animatronic plushies from Jazzwares, they sold out like that. And I wanted Plush Trap. I wanted Plush Trap so freaking bad, bro. I'm going to show you guys this. I have a whole couch over here covered in FNAF plushies, and I just want to keep adding to it. Like, I will buy every single FNAF plushie that gets made. Like, for real. So here, I'll just show you guys real quick. Just a ton of FNAF plushies over there, man. So I keep adding more and more to it. And I really wanted the FNAF 4 ones, but they've already sold out. And, scalpers are already selling them for like $150 for like all of them, and it's absolutely insane. I absolutely hate it. So that's been fun trying to find that. Yeah. So Jazzwars, you're cooking, but you're I don't know. I know they have set up like limits on how many you can buy, but I actually found out people are actually getting around it. I literally know someone, and they told me, they said, and just so you guys know, they are not a scalper, but they were trying to see how strong the limit actually was. Yes, they can get through it, and the way they get through it is Jazzwars has a limit that you can buy for one purchase. You go ahead, so let's say like I get on there and I want to buy the plush trap, and Jazzwars has it programmed to where you can only buy 2. That's great and everything. So I put 2 in my cart and I buy it. I log out, I log back in. You can just buy it again. You can literally buy 2 more. So a friend of mine tried it because he was just testing it, ended up buying 4 of the same item when the limit was 2. And he was like, this is literally why they are still selling out and why so many scalpers are still getting them on eBay and all of that, is because they just keep logging back in and just ordering 2, ordering 2, ordering 2. So it literally didn't even work. It's absolutely insane. And yeah. So, yo, can you do a room tour? I don't know if my cords are long enough to do a room tour. I could probably show you guys a couple things that I have on my shelf over here, but at some point I can do a room tour and have like longer cords and stuff to take you guys around, but I can show you what's over there. That feels illegal. Yeah, it is freaking illegal, bro. It is freaking illegal. Like, I don't know what headspace these people are in, and it really just makes me mad because these people definitely are not FNAF fans. Like, again, they're just a bunch of bums living in parents' basements who are trying to scout people. Obviously, we all know that. And, oh, bro, I'm going to tell you guys a freaking story. Are you ready? Get your popcorn out. Are you ready? Get your popcorn out, baby. Get your freaking popcorn out. Now, another hobby I'm into. I have so many hobbies, by the way, bro. It's insane. Another hobby that I'm into is I like me and my little sister, popcorn acquired. Bro's the man. Bro is the man. But me and my little sister, for me, the time is 9/11. The time for me is 9/11 as well. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wait, I think I hear it playing. Okay, never mind. Anyway, me and my little sister, I like to help her collect Pokemon cards. She's a Pokemon fanatic. Unfortunately, she is not a FNAF fanatic. I have told her, you need to get into FNAF. And she goes, I'm too scared. And I'm like, what the heck, bro? Also, side note, I'm actually married. I got married almost a year ago, and I'm expecting my first child, and he is a boy. And I told my wife, I said, honey, he is going to be indoctrinated with FNAF lore at 2 years old. He is going to know every bit of the FNAF lore at 2 years old. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We are going to have a FNAF theorist junior on our hands, bro. It's gonna be hilarious. I'm a Pokemon fanatic too. I'm the best of both worlds. Amazing, man. I have a small Pokemon collection myself. I used to be in possession of a Charizard that was a CGC 8.7. I sold it to a friend of mine. It wasn't a first edition. It was like the second edition. It wasn't like the crazy one that was first edition, but I was in possession of that for about 6 months. And I sold that to a friend of mine. But anyway, story goes, I live pretty close by to a Walmart, and so every time I try to go there when there's Pokemon restocks to get Pokemon for my little sister and also for myself. Yes, you are the best dad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. I needed that, man. So anyway, I try to go there and get Pokemon for my little sister and for myself because we just enjoy ripping packs and having a good time and getting rare cards. We've actually pulled some pretty crazy stuff before. We have pulled the Mega Charizard from you know, that card absolutely insane. We freaked out, but anyway, with that being said, we've had fun. I cannot tell you how many scalpers I've run into at this one Walmart. And the people, bro. The people who are these scalpers are this. I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm there and I see a guy and I'm like immediately know he's a scalper just by the way he looks. I look and I see him and I'm like, dang, it's a scalper. They have this look to them and you can smell them a mile away. And you smell it and you're like, oh my gosh, that is absolutely disgusting. I cannot believe this, but we were at Walmart this one specific time and there was an entire family of scalpers because Walmart has a limit of 5 per person. So if you want to buy, the individual packs, you're only allowed to have 5 per person. So what do these scalpers do? They take their entire family there, and I was there. I witnessed it right when I walk over to the Pokemon aisle. First of all the ETBs, all that stuff's gone. It's just like the packs, like the individual packs. Everyone grabs just everything, and the dad passes it out 5 to each of the kids and gives each one of the kids cash. No freaking joke. They take everything. And the dad looked like a freaking scalper, bro. Like, and I could go into more detail, but I'm not going to because I could get canceled. But however, yeah. What did it smell like? Oh. So, listen to this. So I lived on a farm for when I was younger, and my dad, he was into getting like cows and stuff and having all kinds of animals. And he liked to have chickens because obviously chickens would lay eggs and we would have, fresh eggs, and it was super fun. But I hated the fact that I had to be the one to go out and clean up the chicken coop. And you would open the door and you would instantly be hit with this revolting vomit smell of decaying heat. I mean, this chicken coop is not obviously doesn't have AC. So these chickens go to the bathroom and the heat just evaporates their poop in this enclosed climate. So you open the door and you are just hit with this foul smelling stench of just absolute death. That is what it smells like to be near a scalper. That is the best interpretation. Oh God, I know the smell. I've taken care of chickens before. Brother, you are a real one. If you know that smell. If you know the smell of chicken poop in a chicken coop, you are a real one. That takes courage. It takes courage to walk in there. Like, bro, I matured so much when I was a kid because I had to do that, man. No joke. No joke, man. But yeah, that is exactly what a scalper smells like. Chicken poop. But you get used to it. You see, here's what's funny about that, Colin. Here's what's funny about it. There's something, it's almost like a sour smell. This disgusting sour smell. And no, unfortunately, that is the one smell that you don't get used to. I have 25 chickens. Bro, you are a real one to take that up. You are a real one. Like this, like we've had pigs before and 2 goats. Bro, I like goats, man. Goats are fun. Goats are goated. We've had pigs, and even though they smell bad, like you can get used to that smell. Like how a pig smells is how like someone who like is like a Pokemon fan or a FNAF collector is, and they go and they buy everything and they don't care about any of the other fans. You're like, okay, at least bro is like a fan of this product and he's actually going to take care of it and use it. But hey, dang bro, you could have left me something. So those types of people smell like pigs. Scalpers smell like chicken poop. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, bro. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. By the way, can we all just admit how adorable the Jazzwares Halloween plushies are going to be? The little vampire guys. Bro, those things are goated, man. If we can get our hands on them, you know. If we can get our hands on them. But one of you guys asked for a room tour, and I told you guys that I would show you the shelf that's off to my like left over here. So I can go ahead and do that. That means I have 21 dinosaurs. Holy crap. Wait, that's actually real, isn't it? Oh my gosh. We went down a rabbit hole, or should I say a chicken hole? No, you should say a scalper hole. I did not think that through. All right. Let me see here. I got this new like camera stand thing, and it's kind of weird, so hold up. All right. Let's see here. Probably take my headphones out. All right, so on my desk, I've got this stuff up here. I found someone who made a fake FNAF VHS tape, so that's pretty sick. We've got these animatronic heads. We've got Fredbear. We've got Dream Theory. We've got obviously the FNAF 2 movie, which that is a whole nother story in of itself, which I will get to. I'll tell you guys that story. That was pretty crazy. We obviously got the boxes up there from the movie theater for the FNAF 2 movie. If we come over here, don't mind the studio light. You're all about to get blinded. If we come over here, we have a light up Freddy Fazbear's Pizza sign, Golden Freddy, training cassette tape, Squishy Freddy, which I absolutely adore that thing. It's absolutely amazing. We come down, we've got just a lot of different Funko Pops. So Withered Freddy, all the Withered animatronics. We got the Mimic. Come over here, we got Glitch Trap, Vanny, some of the classics. We got the super old Shadow Freddy McFarlane, which I absolutely love this thing. Light up Freddy Fazbear sign. Old security breach, like Lego set, which is really cool. Got some other cool stuff. We have, of course, a signed Matthew Lillard still from the FNAF 1 movie. And then, kind of to be honest, like these next couple shelves down here, I'm still kind of working on. So I'm not quite... stuff that's there isn't like set. It's just kind of there for now. We just have some random plushies sitting around. Got Jumbo Freddy here. And yes, I do have a checkered carpet rug, which is pretty cool. And then these are just like all my plushies over here on this couch. So really like these guys. Yep. So really like that. Over here, that's the PC, by the way. Over here, just some other plushies. And then this shelf over here, I just put this here yesterday, so I'm still figuring that out. And I got my arcade cabinet over there. So that is the setup. Ooh, look, we can like do an infinity mirror. Holy crap. It is the portal like into the pit, guys. Okay. And of course, we have a goated McDonald's drink. Goated McDonald's drink. All right, let's get this set back up. Hopefully you guys didn't get too dizzy there. All right, we're back. Hope you guys liked the quick room tour. It was kind of fun. All right. So I have another fun story for guys. The motion sickness is growing crazy. Bro, when I played Secret of the Mimic in VR, I played it obviously when it came out on PC. Oh my gosh, bro. So I'm not I don't get super motion sick, but for whatever reason, I don't know what it was about that specific game, but I got so motion sick at one point, and I didn't have it on snap mode. I had it where it was smooth, so that was part of the problem. However, I've played other games like that before, and I was fine, but I don't know what it was. It could have been maybe the lighting because it's a darker environment. I don't know. It was weird, but I got so motion sick. I had to end up going to bed early and wasn't able to finish the game. And then I had to finish the next day on snap mode. So thankfully I didn't live stream that because that would have been embarrassing. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I had a little story to tell you guys about the FNAF 2 movie popcorn bucket. So it was a lovely day. And it was actually the day before the FNAF 2 movie was supposed to release. I was able to go and see it a day early. For whatever reason, the movie theater was showing it a day early than when it was actually supposed to be released. So I go there. King Kayla says, Secret of the Mimic VR was ... something else. I haven't played it, but I've seen people play it. Yeah. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, it was fun. I liked it. I definitely think the whole thing about it being released only on PlayStation was weird. Obviously, Steelwool has apologized for that, which I appreciate. But, Anyway, so I go to the movie theater, and I had done extensive research. I called the movie theater, and I asked them about these popcorn buckets. And I was like, hey, guys, I said, how many of them do you guys have? And they said, we have this X amount. And they told me on the phone, they said, we do not give the popcorn buckets out until the movie comes out. And so they said, if you're coming tomorrow to see the movie, you will be able to get one. But anytime before that, you can't just come and pick one up. That's how this specific movie theater was doing it. And I was like, oh, good. I was like, so someone can't just walk in 4 days before the movie releases and just buy all the popcorn buckets. And I was like, that's smart. So the next day, I go to see the movie. I walk in. I walk up to the lady. She's standing there. I remember. She's standing there. She's wearing her the Regal Cinema hat backwards. She's sweating. She's been working her butt off all day. And I say, yeah, can I get one of the FNAF 2 movie popcorn buckets, the stage one? She looks at me like this. She's like scanning me. It was so bizarre. And it gets even funnier. So And she goes, well, they are sold out. And I'm like, well, I called yesterday and you guys said you had this amount of them in. And this was the only showing that day for the FNAF 2 movie. And so I'm like, how are you already sold out? And she goes, well, we didn't have a limit on the popcorn buckets. Someone walked their butt into this movie theater, walked up to the counter, and said, can I buy every single one that you guys have? The lady said he had a pickup truck out front, and they loaded every single one of those popcorn buckets into the back of his truck. And it was like several $1,000s for all of the popcorn buckets. It was like, I think close to $3,000. And I was like, and I said to her, I was like, well, I thought you guys said you weren't going to sell them until the movie release. And she goes, well, technically, yeah, today the movie releases. We don't have a limit on the popcorn buckets. So this guy, again, this disgusting chicken poop smelling scalper walked in there, bought up the stock, and just left. And people like me then had to go on eBay and spend $150. I literally had to spend $150 for that because you couldn't get it anywhere else. That's just disrespectful. Totally agree. Yeah. Stupid. Me too. I literally cannot play it because of how motion sickness I get from it. None of the rest of Steelwool games I do, but just, yeah. Like, I've played, like, obviously Help 1 and Help 1 and 2, and those ones never made me sick. For whatever reason, this one made me sick. So, weird. But anyway, continuing the funny story here. I tell the lady, I go, okay, do you guys have the pizza boxes? And the pizza boxes are these guys. Really cool, by the way. These are really cool. And I'm like, can I order? Because I didn't want to get the pizza box with a pizza in it and like the grease and stuff get like on the cardboard. I didn't want that. So I asked the lady, I was like, can I like pay for 2 pizzas, but then have one of the boxes not have a pizza in it? Her face, it was like there was a like college level math equation in this lady's head. She could not connect the dots of what I wanted. And like, like, is it that hard of a request? Like, I just want 2 pizza boxes. I wanted a pizza to eat, so by default, it comes with the box. I was hungry. I was genuinely hungry. But then for display purposes, I didn't want a pizza box that has grease all in it. So I'm like, hey, I'll pay you for 2 of them, and you just give me a free box, and you can keep the pizza. That is a steal for this company. They are literally taking my money and giving me what? Like, probably 25 cents worth of cardboard and ink for like an astronomically priced pizza at a movie theater. The pizza's like, what, $10 for like this personal size pizza that's like this big? So she could not figure out what I was asking for. And the guy behind her is like, what do you want? Like looking at me like I'm stupid, like I'm weird or whatever. He's like, what do you want? And I said, and I explained to him, I was like, I want a pizza, but I want to buy another pizza, but I want the box to be empty so I can display it. And he's like, I guess we can do that. And I was like, thinking to myself, what? You guess you can do that? Okay, whatever. Thankfully, they did what I said, but then that's not even the end of it. It keeps going. So I wait, 10 minutes for my pizza to get done. And the guy, he waddles over like this. He's like, "Here's, sir, here's your pizza." And I go, "Oh, well, actually I ordered 2, but the other one," again, just having to explain the situation again. So then he's like, looks at me like I'm weird, has to go talk to the lady who was the cashier just to make sure I'm telling the truth and I'm not trying to steal stuff. So it was it was absurd. Glitch. You're a better man than me. I would have had to physically restrain myself from leaning over the counter and no, bro. I was almost to that point. I was like, do you not do your pea brains just not register this? I don't know, man. But anyway, my first time watching the FNAF 2 movie was quite the story. And also, I just want to know what is up with movie theater etiquette nowadays. I went and saw the Backrooms movie last week. It was the worst time I have ever went and saw a movie in my entire life. I've seen a lot of movies. I go to movies all the time. I'm actually going to see one this week as well. It's an alien movie called, I think it's called Disclosure Day. I like to go to see random movies just for fun. And obviously I knew about the Backrooms. I love the Backrooms. And I'm like so hyped for this movie, bro. I go to this theater. And I'm so excited. The movie theater isn't packed. You know, a movie theater probably sat 200 people. There was probably 50 people there. It wasn't a lot. And I pick a row. All the best seats were already taken. So I go kind of towards the front. There are these two teenage girls behind me. And I get into the row in front of them. Worst freaking decision of my entire life. I don't know what they were doing. Like, I almost wanted to ask them, hey, did you guys spend your own money to get into this theater to watch this movie? Like, are you wasting your money right now? Or did your parents give you money and you're wasting their money? Because, bro, they were not watching. And, like, I get, like, having fun with your friends and stuff. Like, I have friends that I have fun with all the time. But it was atrocious. Movie theater etiquette, I don't know what the problem is. I mean, the entire time they are laughing, taking their phones out with their flashlights on, taking pictures. Like, and every single time, like in the character in the movie, like in the movie when like the characters are like scared and something's happening and they're like heavy breathing, they are doing it behind me. They're going like making it super dramatic. It was probably the worst movie experience I have ever had in my entire life. Exploding Loaf. FNAF has a future. Some things needed to be changed. I'd argue that. Hey, thanks for popping in, bro. I agree with you. But anyway, that was really bad. I honestly will probably go and see the Backrooms movie again just because of how terrible that experience was with people behind me. And it's like, guys, people are spending money here to go and watch these films. And if you're just not going to be respectful, someone needs to sit these idiots down and teach them proper etiquette. Hey, yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. I feel as if I have seen you in chats before. Yeah, I mean, I comment on other people's chats and stuff. I've commented before on. I know I've commented on 808 Freddy's chats. I'll comment on T Dreads. Just mess around with those guys and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, what about you all? I've been telling you. I have been telling you guys a lot of funny stories about FNAF type stuff. What do you all want from FNAF? The FNAF next game. In the chat. What do you guys want? What do you all want? Exploding Loaf wants FNAF World 2. During Obsession yesterday, goated movie, by the way. During Obsession yesterday, a group came in halfway and sat right behind me and yapped up a storm. My feelings are with you. The second time I watched the FNAF 2 movie in theater, I'm so thankful it was not my first time because it would have utterly ruined it. There were some kids behind me explaining every single aspect of the story. And I'm like, bro, we're watching it. Just watch. Storyteller adaptation, security breach prequel. Bro. That would be goated. Did they even get it right? It was like 50-50. It was like 50-50. I heard one of the kids say that the toy animatronics were being haunted by the original spirits of the MCI or something like that. And then later on in the movie, they literally go on to say that like Charlie's the only spirit there. And I was like, well, bro just absolutely lost his theorist degree. Fall Fest, Fredbear's, Security Breach prequel, FNAF 2. A Fall Fest game I think would be fun. I think it would be a little redundant, though, for them to do a Fall Fest game because we just got Secret of the Mimic. Like, I think that would be an absolutely goated game. It's just we just got Secret of the Mimic, so to have, like, another game that's, like, the same vibe like that, I think could be a little redundant. But that'd be cool. Fredbear's, totally down for Fredbear's. Fredbear's would be sick. I would love a Security Breach prequel. Would have turned around and told them to shut up and then explained it harder. Security Breach 2 is guaranteed at this point. Guaranteed. I don't know. I'm really hoping for either Ruin 2 or prequel to Security Breach. Secret of the Mimic DLC where we play as Fiona in the events leading to her death. Wow. That would be deep. That could be a pretty big lore thing because something about Fiona's death I think is very interesting. I honestly think I want to believe that unfortunately for poor Fiona that there was some sort of foul play involved. And I think if they did at some point do a game, possibly a Secret of the Mimic DLC, which personally I don't think is the game that they're working on right now, but I could see a Secret of the Mimic DLC coming out. If that was it, that could be some interesting lore. A very, very, very interesting lore. Because obviously we know, or it's been theorized by a lot of people that she died in a fire at Fall Fest. But you have to ask yourself, how did the fire start? And I have heard crazy theories about that. I've heard people say that Fiona did it herself. I've heard people say that it was the Mimic. I've heard people say it was William Afton who lit the fire. So very, very interesting. But yeah, I think to be honest, everyone's kind of saying the same thing. Like Security Breach 2, Ruin 2, it's all the same stuff. Ruin took almost 2 years, so I still think Secret of the Mimic DLC is possible. Yeah, for sure. Yep. And even if that isn't the thing that they're working on now, they can always go back and do it again. I think with how well Secret of the Mimic was, like, I'm going to be honest, Secret of the Mimic was a very well put together game, in my opinion. I think it calls for a DLC. I really do. I'm running out of Diet Coke here, guys. We are cooked. We are absolutely cooked. I'm running out of Diet Coke. Oh my goodness. You know, something that I've been thinking about that I think would be so cool is a FNAF TV show. What do you guys think about that? Like, what if all of the Fazbear Fright stories were turned into a TV show? Like, I think that would be goated. I have been thinking about that, and I think that would be so cool. When you die in Diet Coke, you die in real life? What? Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex TV show. Yep, exactly. Actually, I have a little surprise for you guys. I was gonna do a community post about it about a week ago, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Now, before I got into doing YouTube, I was an editor for some people who liked doing their own indie films. And I've had actually quite a bit of experience in like indie film development. I have connections to make short films, like short horror films. Um, I think it would be goaded to make some FNAF short horror films, but not like I've seen some other people do like fan like horror films for FNAF, and it's like survive Five Nights at Freddy's. I want to do something different. Like I've been coming up with an idea recently. What if we do a horror like a short horror film of the story of Jeremy from Help Wanted? Like we follow Jeremy and just kind of elaborate on some of the details that we know from Help Wanted, but make it like a little movie, like maybe like a 15-20 minute short film. And it starts, with Jeremy, doing all the beta testing and stuff, them downloading the virus, and the virus basically taking him over, and then he dies. And that's just the end of it. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And I have all the connections to do something like that and do it very well. And I mean like very high level quality type content would be really sick. So I've been thinking about that a lot recently, possibly another addition to something for my channel as well. Not only will I do FNAF theories on other indie horror games like Plushie's Playground, Poppy Playtime, Backrooms, but also do like short horror films for FNAF. Super cool. So hey, the cat's out of the box. Now you guys know. That is something that I've currently been working on behind the scenes, and I just haven't talked about it at all. So I guess now's a good time. A FNAF TV show would be epic, like the Goosebumps show. Yes, totally. I've always thought of Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex very similar to Goosebumps for sure. Wait, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think so too. I think it'd be really cool. It would be goated. I've been thinking about the movie continuity tie-in, so they don't have to cram as much. Yeah. I think too, like, bro, just sit back and just picture a FNAF TV show where we go back to Fredbear's. We've got Matthew Lillard. We've got Skeet Ulrich in a TV show just going through the events of FNAF. Like, imagine just an entire season for a FNAF TV show taking place at Fredbear's Family Diner. Oh, man. I would die for something like that. I'd love a prequel to FNAF following William and Henry in college, to be honest. Hey, that would be cool. Because, yeah, that is something really we don't know, like, really how they met and, like, where they started. Where they became friends, became business partners, and formed Fazbear Entertainment. Yeah. Because, yeah, again, like I was saying, we don't really know a whole lot about, like, Henry Emily in terms of, like, where he came from, like, what his relation is to William Afton, because we obviously know they're business partners. They're quote-unquote friends. So to see maybe the backstory of that would be cool. We could get some of that, though, in the FNAF 3 movie, because from what it sounds like, there's going to be more William Afton, more, Henry. I think that would be really cool. An MCM show, but it's barely even FNAF related. It's just The Office. Oh my goodness. That would actually be awesome. Oh, that would actually be awesome. And what's funny too is I could totally see that though. Like an MCM show at MCM, but it's The Office. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Edwin staring at the Fazbear project contract, just like, okay, everyone stay calm. Oh my goodness. You guys are something else, man. Oh man, yeah, I just think there's so many things that FNAF as a franchise could do and go that I think would absolutely be insane. Let's talk about something else too. We as community, FNAF community, we need to get our act together. We need to come together and we need to sue. That's right. Sue is a very strong word. We need to sue Lego and tell them we're going to sue you for every dollar you're worth until you make us FNAF Legos. Like, guys, I know Jazzwares is going to be doing like their version of FNAF Legos, and so far they've been cool. But guys, think about how goated it would be if Lego actually made Five Nights at Freddy's like Lego sets. And I don't even understand, like, as a corporate company, how you would turn down the opportunity to do something like that with how big of a community there is for FNAF. Do you realize how much money Lego would freaking make if they made FNAF Lego sets, man? Do you even realize? And it's sad, man, because we're probably never going to get like real official Lego sets for FNAF. But like for the movies, think about if we had like official like Lego sets for the movies. Like the pizzeria, you would have gotten all the cool minifigures, you know, the FNAF 2 movie, you could have had the second location, you could have had the Ghost Hunter's van. Like, bro, think about the level of opportunity is insane. Why won't they do it? Why? I mean, they've done horror stuff before. I mean, why? I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand. And so, we got to put up with off-brand stuff that you buy custom made on Etsy and eBay of these little figures, which, hey, actually aren't half bad. Let me see if I got one over here. I've actually got like a little... It's fake. It's not Lego. Let's see on my camera. Come on. Camera, work please. There we go. Little fake Lego guy. Like, imagine this, but like actually Lego, and have like whole sets dedicated to it, man. That would be so fun. That'd be so fun. So, oh my goodness, man. Well, guys, what else can we talk about for FNAF? I'm trying to think. I feel like this video has been good for me. This live stream has been good for me, man. Just fuming, man. Just getting stuff off my chest. Just talking, man. It's been fun. This has been fun. I feel like again, here's something else. I feel like we need another book series. I'm not someone who has hated the FNAF books. There are people who hate the FNAF books with a passion. I'm not one of those people. Glitch says no. Yo, we got VAR in the room. What's going on, VAR? I really wish we need to have another book series. Whether it's just a continuation of Tales from the Pizzaplex or continuation of Fazbear Frights. Oh, man, I love the books, man. I love them. I love them. Looks like Glitch disagrees, but hey. The interactive novels, I love the interactive novels. To be honest, the movie novelizations, I've absolutely don't understand why they exist, but we need a continuation of Tales. We never got to know what the hidden event between the Mimic and the epilogues was. Yeah, true. Which is a possibly setting it up for the next book series. Who knows? I want a new book series 100%. For sure. For sure. I mean, obviously, we know that later at the end of this year, we get the next like comic book for Volume 4. It's gonna have Didophobia. I'm really hyped to see Didophobia, with like in like having all the graphic novelization of it. It's gonna be so cool. There could be some interesting lore drops too. I feel like for Didophobia, it'll be very very interesting, for sure. So, well, guys, it has been real. I've had a lot of fun. I got to go and start working on the video. So I haven't read any of the books yet. Bro, King Callus, go read the books. Or better yet, on Audible. You can listen to them on Audible, I believe. I've listened to audiobooks for the books on YouTube. And I know Ozone has done some really good videos where he just reads through them. I know Rye Toast on his other channel called Rye Does, he has done some really great novelizations of them. So you can check those out there. Super great way to like read them, I guess, and not actually have to read them. I know I'll listen to Rye Does sometime when I'm working at my job. It allows me to kind of be able to listen to stuff as I work, which is nice. So I can keep up to date with the books and try to remember stuff. So yeah, definitely check that out for sure. So, but yeah, guys, I had a really fun time. I gotta end the stream and start working on this week's video. It's gonna be on Golden Freddy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, I did a couple updates at the beginning of the stream. If you didn't catch it, go back and watch that. There were 2 pretty important updates there for you guys. So make sure to go and check that out. They were pretty important. Had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. It was super fun. I enjoyed telling you guys some funny stories, give you guys a room tour. It was a lot of fun. I will see you guys at the Golden Freddy video, I guess. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. And obviously, now you guys know about the cool little possible short horror FNAF films. So keep it quiet because it's just between us at this moment. So shh, don't tell anybody. That's on the back burner. That's on the back burner. All right, guys. Have an awesome start to your week. Tomorrow's Monday morning. Dang it. But hey, have a great week, guys. I will see you this weekend. I might do another live stream throughout this week. We'll see. But I will see you all then. Hope you'll have a fantastic week. See ya.